Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso.
You grab your family, kids, and our animals.
Wildfires in the west are destroying homes and sparking evacuations as we speak.
Another tragedy on the road. A family of 6 ripped apart following a crash on I-10 near Fort Stockton. Friends gathered last night to remember one of the victims.
And new developments on a home invasion case. One of the men involved on trial this week, and we'll hear the dramatic 911 call.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Wildfires are chasing residents from their neighborhoods in Washington state.
Would you look at that? The wildfire started Sunday near Wenatchee and spread out of control in the hot and windy weather there.
Rainfall on Monday provided some relief, but hot, dry conditions and wind posed continuing challenges. The flames have burned more than an estimated 4 square miles. And we will get to that story in just a bit. But in the meantime, a good morning to you, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Floren. Good morning, everyone. That was quite a shot to look at there, that time-lapse video of the fire. But we have some nice time-lapse video if we were rolling on it here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's been so beautiful here.
And Crystal is standing by to let us know how beautiful it will stay today, right, Crystal?
Yeah, and it's going to continue to be very nice outside. Actually, today's forecast is awfully similar to yesterday's forecast. We are actually being dominated by that same high pressure ridge of warm conditions that is drying out parts of the Pacific coastline. For us, though, it just means high temps and trapped moisture. Trapped moisture a lot of times means afternoon showers or even into the evening. That's what we saw last night. A little rain rolled through parts of Las Cruces, El Paso, and still a little rain is rolling on through parts of Grant County here, where you see that green near Silver City. It's very light, moderate rain at this point in the morning, and it is moving down to the southwest out of our viewing zone. So for the rest of your morning, we should be dry on the forecast. It's this afternoon that yet again we'll have that isolated chance of storms develop. As for your temperatures right now, we're at 68 in Las Cruces and 69 TRC, 70 Alamogordo and 61 at the Pass. Our reporting station in El Paso not sending us data right now, so can say about a half hour ago we were in the low 70s outside, not expecting much of a change from that, but we will check in on your numbers with your WeatherNet sites coming up in just a bit. Plus, we're going to be talking rain chances in the next several days to come. It's all just a few minutes away.
All right, thanks, Crystal. A rollover crash just outside of Fort Stockton takes the lives of several El Pasoans. A recent graduate of Franklin High School and 3 of her family members were all killed. 18-year-old Taylor Garza's best friend sent ABC7 this picture of Taylor. Also killed in the crash, Taylor's mom, 39-year-old Stephanie Ann, and her little brothers, Peter and Jesse. Taylor's dad and 6-year-old sister survived the crash. This morning, both of them are out of the hospital. State troopers say one of the tires on the family's SUV blew out, and that caused it to roll several times. Coming up later in the show, we'll hear from Taylor's friends, who we spoke to about losing their best friend.
Meantime, new developments on a story that we have been bringing you complete coverage on for more than a year. From our New Mexico mobile newsroom, we have a man, Joseph Torres, that you see here. He was at home with his family when a group of 4 men allegedly broke into his Doña Ana County home on New Year's Eve. Torres, who's a mixed martial artist, fought all 4 of them off, killing one of them. The 5th person charged is now on trial. Leonard Calvillo faces various charges including attempted murder, child abuse, and aggravated battery. We have video of Calvillo entering the courtroom yesterday. When Torres took the stand, he showed a lot of emotion. He said Calvillo and 3 other gang members broke into his home. The defense says that not once did Torres call police, but we have a 911 recording of Torres' wife calling for help.
Get off of him! Get off of him!
Ma'am, how many people are fighting?
We need somebody to win!
Ma'am, we have them on the way. I need you to calm down.
If convicted, Calvillo faces about 30 years behind bars. The trial continues later today. And another update this morning on the 2 former Las Cruces police officers accused of police brutality. Danny Salcido and Richard Garcia both pleaded not guilty to charges of aggravated battery. The men were caught on tape beating an inmate inside a jail cell. The The man in that video, Ross Flynn, is suing the Las Cruces Police Department for $12.5 million.
Another gang member tied to an El Paso prostitution ring learned his punishment Monday. Timothy McCulloch was sentenced to 18 years in prison. McCulloch was a former juvenile probation officer. This is YouTube video from 2008 when he was a member of the UTEP football team. He joins the 3 other members of the gang who were sentenced last week. One of them got life in prison. Prosecutors say the man ran a sex trafficking ring that extended from El Paso to California. Some of the women were minors and were forced by the men to prostitute themselves. A former El Paso police officer is sentenced to 5 months in prison after reaching a plea deal with prosecutors. In 2012, investigators accused Ricardo Huante of defrauding several U.S. insurance companies. They say he ran a side business where he handled health care billing for several Juarez doctors. As part of the deal, he was ordered to pay a little more than $20,000 in restitution. At the time of the investigation, Huante was a 14-year veteran of the force. He was placed on administrative leave and then eventually resigned.
ABC 7 was awaiting the results of about 90 tuberculosis tests out of Frank Macias Elementary School in Horizon City. That's where 163 students and 8 staff members were potentially exposed. The health department said the results of the first 100 tests would be out yesterday, but now they won't release them to the public until all of the results are in. The city says the kids' parents have the results, and as of Friday, about 70 more students needed to be tested. This is a story we broke last week when the health department announced someone at the school had active TB, and the school's second graders could be at risk. And while the Department of Health works on the TB cases, it now has its first West Nile case of the year. An elderly man from El Paso's Lower Valley tested positive for the virus, which is most commonly transmitted to humans by mosquitoes. No other details are being made public at this point. There were 15 West Nile cases in the city last year. We will have details coming up in our second half hour about how you can protect yourself.
El Paso State Rep Joe Pickett is asking the city to get rid of the toll roads on the border highway. Pickett says there's no need for any toll roads in El Paso. Pickett's plan to get rid of the toll roads hinges on TxDOT support, which he says he has, and also dealing with funding and debt, which not everyone is convinced has been addressed. Today's City Council meeting will have a new face. District 1's newly elected rep takes his seat for the very first time. We have Good Morning El Paso's Denise Olivas live with more on this story. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning, Hillary. Peter Schwarzbein's campaign run was a little longer than expected. After the general election, he was forced into a runoff, but last night he was officially sworn in. But also some familiar faces returned to City Council. Representatives Claudia Ordaz and Dr. Michael No were also sworn in last night at the Plaza Theater. Schwarzbein now takes over for Ann Morgan Lilly, the longtime representative for District 1, which covers the west side of El Paso. He admitted in his speech it was a hard race to win with 6 other competitors in the general election, but Schwarzbein says he's ready to take on his new role.
I think that we need to work hard together to continue getting this city moving forward and to capitalize and to work hard not just on the issues that affect our city, but the opportunities that affect our district, our city, and our region as well.
And among the issues Schwarzbein will have to deal with today, the San Jacinto Plaza reconstruction and a case similar to last week involving a business that wants an exemption to sell liquor close to a daycare. Of course, we'll be following those stories. You can look for the updates in our afternoon newscast. Stephanie, back to you.
Okay, Denise, thank you for that update. And now to those western wildfires wreaking havoc across the West Coast. Record-breaking temperatures will inflame the Northwest today as firefighters continue to fight that fire. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest on this story developing now.
The firefight continued overnight. The firestorm in Washington state, fueled by strong winds, dry conditions, and triple-digit temperatures in Wenatchee. In the light of day, incredible scenes of destruction. A 3,000-acre fire leaving behind charred earth. So far, more than 24 homes, some mansions, destroyed. Thousands of residents evacuated.
Embers were going from one house to another, catching the roofs on fire.
You grab your family, kids, and our animals. Stayed with friends across the Wenatchee River and watched this area burn all night.
Embers from the massive wildfire have also reached businesses, sparking explosions and industrial fires. Ammonia leaked from buildings, sending thick, toxic black smoke into downtown Wenatchee. A red flag warning remained in effect late Monday night as firefighters gained ground.
I think the worst is over, but still have to be vigilant.
That vigilance will be needed throughout the summer. Right now across the West, nearly 75 wildfires are burning from Alaska to Arizona. In California, a much smaller but still destructive fire has burned 300 acres in Mesa. Fire crews have been working from the air and the ground. 1,400 people have been evacuated. No homes or other structures have been lost, but emergency officials say the fire has the potential to do a lot of damage. Investigators in Washington state are still searching for a cause of that wildfire. Several firefighters have suffered smoke inhalation and heat-related injuries. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
A live look at traffic right now. This is I-10 and Yarborough you're looking at right now. Things are picking up, but still pretty light.
Yeah, no problems to tell you about.
No.
Well, the U.S. women's soccer team is gearing up for a tough match today.
How the players feel about going head-to-head with Germany in the World Cup and what the win could mean for them.
And looking for a way to test your wrestling skills this 4th of July? Arm wrestling, that is. Well, this tournament might be for you. We have details coming up.
Let's go.
All right.
Right now?
Okay.
Crystal, want to take it away with your forecast?
And I call winner. I'm just saying, I call winner. All right, we're going to talk about chances of rain in the forecast, not just today, but for several days to come. Your raincast is coming up.
All right, thanks, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first. Step 1, by the way.